All right, let's get right into it. Today, we're not just learning, we're building a plan, a 12-month mission plan to be exact. And the goal? To take you from knowing absolutely nothing to being a job-ready machine learning engineer.
Now, I know what you might be thinking. A year? To break into a field as complex as machine learning? That sounds, well, pretty ambitious, right?
Well, I'm here to tell you it's not just possible, it's absolutely doable. But, and this is a big but, it takes a super focused, no-nonsense plan. No distractions. And that's exactly what this is. This is your mission brief.
And let's be real about why we're doing this. What's the target? $110,000. That's the kind of junior-level salary you'll be aiming for. So with that in mind, let's break down how we're going to get you there.
Okay, phase 1. Think of this as your basic training. It's an intense 3-month sprint. And let me be clear, this part is totally non-negotiable. It is the foundation for everything that comes next. For the first 90 days, you have one job. That's it. Month 1, you are all in on Python's core concepts. Month 2, you nail the essential libraries. And month 3, you tackle the critical math. Nothing else gets your attention during this time. Got it?
So when we talk about Python, we're talking about mastering your tools. Yeah, you'll learn the basics, variables, loops, functions, all that good stuff. But the real game changer is getting fluent with the key libraries. I'm talking about pandas for wrangling data, and crucially, scikit-learn. That's where you're going to build your very first models. These are absolute must-knows.
Okay, let's talk math. And don't worry, you don't need a PhD here, but you absolutely have to have a solid working knowledge of these core concepts. Think of it like this. The code is how the models work, but the math is why they work. It's the language they speak.
All right, foundation's built. Solid. Now it's time for phase 2, skill acquisition. This is where the fun really begins. You're going to go from being someone who's just learning the theory to a real practitioner. This is where you build your arsenal.
You're going to hit the ground running with scikit-learn. And look, the goal here isn't to read textbooks. It's to apply everything you've learned. You're going to build, build, build. Think about projects like predicting housing prices or figuring out which customers might leave. You know, real-world stuff. Your target? Get about 10 to 15 small but complete projects under your belt. That's how you really learn this stuff.
Okay, this next part is a huge leap. Scikit-learn is amazing for what I'd call neat data. You know, stuff that fits nicely in a spreadsheet. But the real world, it's messy. It's images, text, audio. That's unstructured data. So how do you teach a computer to understand a picture of a cat? That's where you have to level up to deep learning. And that means learning a framework like PyTorch or TensorFlow.
Look, the world of AI is massive. You can't learn it all. To get hired, you have to specialize. You have to pick a lane. And right now, if you look at the job markets in places like Toronto and Vancouver, the high-demand roles are in these 3 areas: natural language processing, computer vision, and advanced predictive modeling. You need to pick one and just go deep.
All right, let's talk about phase 3, field readiness. This is what separates the students from the professionals. Seriously, this part, from months 6 to 12, is what will actually get you a job. So many beginners skip this, and honestly, it's a huge mistake.
The key word here is MLOps, machine learning operations. See, a model that just sits on your laptop, that's just a cool science project. MLOps is how you turn that project into a professional product. It's the engineering skill of putting that model out into the real world so it can actually do something useful. I'm telling you, this is the #1 thing that hiring managers look for.
And this is the exact workflow you have to know for your interviews. It's a non-negotiable skill. First, use a tool like Flask to wrap your model in an API, basically turning it into a little web service. Then, you use Docker to package it all up, your code, your libraries, everything, into a container. The beauty of this is that container can then run anywhere, on AWS, Azure, you name it. This is the modern standard. Okay, so you've put in the work. You've built all these awesome projects. Great. But now what? How does a recruiter actually see that work? You have to remember, your GitHub portfolio is your resume. It needs to scream professional.
And this right here, this is your blueprint for a perfect project page. Your README file has to be dead simple to understand. It needs to say what the project is, what tech you used, how someone else can run it, and, this is the most important part, a live clickable link to your deployed app. They need to be able to see it working, instantly.
Okay, You've got the skills, you've got the professional portfolio. It's time for the final push. Phase 4, the payoff. This is where all that blood, sweat, and code turns into a real job offer.
And that consistent effort, it pays off. Literally. This isn't just a fun hobby, it's a career with serious earning potential. In hot markets like Toronto and Vancouver, you're looking at a starting salary around $110,000 for a junior role. And the best part? There's a clear path to grow that number fast.
Now I get it. Jumping straight into an ML engineer role can feel like a huge leap. So, if that seems a little intimidating, there's another really smart way to do this. You can aim for a data analyst job first. It gets your foot in the door, you build real-world experience working with data and Python every day, and then you can make the move to an ML role from inside the company.
So there it is. Your 12-month mission is complete. But the real point here is that this roadmap is so much more than just a study guide. It's a blueprint for completely transforming your career. The path is clear, the reward is significant. The only thing left to do is for you to commit and get started.